So all the core basics have been covered, and now there's one big thing missing. Introducing the document object model, so the DOM, the HTML code, and the interaction between JavaScript and the HTML code. Because in the end, your application will probably need some kind of interaction. You probably want to change the HTML code during runtime or evaluate certain elements. And this is why this is so important, and we're finally here. So what is the document object model? Let's have a look at a browser page, and here you see the MDN, the Mozilla Developer Network. If we have a look at this page, we have the window object, which is the complete window, or specifically the tab which is opened here, which holds, well, our browser bar with the location, for example, as well as the page we're seeing. Speaking of the browser bar, this is the location we're at, and we have access to that on the window object. This is one important thing the window object stores for us, this location object. But the other important thing, of course, is the DOM, the document here. So all the rendered HTML code, or not only the rendered, the HTML code itself, and notice that I say HTML code here just to make it easier to think about it, but technically the browser took the HTML code and created the DOM, the document object model of that. And I'll show you this back in JSBin if I open up the developer tools. Here, if you click on elements, and you can do this on any page you visit, this is the DOM, this here. It looks like HTML, and of course it is the HTML written, but it is what the browser created of this HTML code. And with the developer tools, you have a pretty cool way to accessing it and having a look at your DOM and all the properties and the styling and so on. So that is really useful and certainly interesting to use on some bigger pages to see how everything was set up there, for example. In Chrome, by the way, you can even change this during runtime by going in there and, well, just typing into it. But I'm not going to do that here. So this is the DOM. And we can work with the DOM. We can interact with it, as we can, by the way, with the location and so on. And I'll show you this in the next lectures.